What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with another offseason rebuild, and we're once again doing another team that was very disappointing in the East. Now, I honestly thought this Knicks and Cavs series could go either way, but I definitely did not expect it to end in just 5 games, as Cleveland was overall just really disappointing in the playoffs, in my personal opinion, and I think a lot of us can agree with that. So today, it is my job to go ahead and fix the issues in Cleveland. Let's go ahead and do this Cleveland Cavaliers offseason rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, subscribe if you are new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciate it. We have a subscriber goal of trying to reach 50,000 subs before this year is over. Don't know if we'll get it, but hey, a man can try. So Cleveland lost in 5 from the New York Knicks. Like I mentioned, I thought the series could go either way. I ultimately did choose Cleveland to win in 7 because I thought this was going to be a close series, but no, the Knicks take care of them in only 5 games. Shout out to the Knicks, and then we get a Knicks-Miami Heat second round, which I don't think any of us expected to see. Regardless, though, let's go ahead and simulate these playoffs. I think the main thing Cleveland needs to address this offseason is maybe potentially looking at trying to get a better starting small forward because they've tried multiple guys there. Okoro just quite isn't there yet as a shooter. He can hopefully work on that in the offseason a little bit, and maybe he comes back and is just firing on all cylinders from there. They've tried Caris LeVert. I believe they tried Lamar Stevens. So this team also just needs a better bench entirely. They have a really good big four, as we know. Although Allen and Mobley were really disappointing. Mitchell had some bad games as well. It just, overall, this team just underperformed all around. But there's definitely ways we can make this team better. So let's just get to it. So let's go straight to the lottery. I'm pretty sure we don't even have a lottery pick in this draft, or we don't even have a first round pick. I believe it goes to Indiana. Blazers get 1, Jazz 2, Wizard 3. And our pick, I believe, like I said, yeah, 25, it goes to the Indiana Pacers, I believe, from that Caris LeVert trade. So we don't have our selection here. As far as the staff is concerned, I don't foresee JB Bickerstaff getting fired, so I'm just going to leave that the way it is. I'm going to fill this out, and then we're going to look at our options this offseason. I don't expect major changes, obviously, right away. I think the main thing, like I mentioned, is we just need better role players here. We need a better bench, maybe a better starting small forward if we can get there, but I definitely am okay with maybe being patient with Okoro if need be. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. The NBA playoffs are officially upon us, and there's no better way to get more out of the NBA playoffs that you're watching with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to bet overs or unders on the players you love watching. Let me show you the website. Prize Picks is available on mobile or desktop. Currently, we're on the desktop version, and you're going to be opened up with this. Basically, you have every sport you can imagine. You got tennis, soccer, PGA, CSGO if you're into stuff like that, MMA, but we're here for the NBA. The play-in tournament is officially starting, and I'm looking at some of these props right here, and I'm feeling juicy. So all you basically do, you can choose between 2 to 6 players. This is my favorite way of getting more out of the game I'm watching. I'm already going to watch the game, so might as well have some fun with it. So let's say I wanted to go Clint Capella over points, and let's say I want to go like maybe over Tyler Hero's prop as well. You just go more and more. 2 players is 3 times your money, and you can go all the way up to 25 times with 6 players. If you're still unsure about it, here are some examples of winnings I've had in the past, and you can go ahead and sign up with my link down in the description below. Use code Crushables. They're matching your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 for first-time users. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. So for my first trade this offseason, I'm looking to upgrade in the role player department. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be sending Ricky Rubio and 2 second-round picks over to Miami to get Caleb Martin as a bench piece for this team. That's going to be the first move, just someone to kind of move the needle a little bit. We could have drafted a second-round rookie, of course, but like I mentioned, I'm looking to make this team better as soon as I can. So we are going to accept Mobley, obviously. Going to accept Okoro. Going to accept Osman as well. We're going to need that salary to maybe make another trade. Isaiah Mobley here as well, and Lamar Stevens. So we're going to sign all those. Qualifying offers, we have Dylan Windley, and then I don't know how to say that guy's last name, so I'm going to attempt to. And then free agency, I believe we're going to have a full mid-level, which is going to come in handy, and then we're going to have the ability to re-sign Caris LeVert, which I think we'll do. So where do I want to use my full mid-level is the question. We could use it on like Trey Lyles, who's been awesome for Sacramento. We could go for Drummond, who once played in Cleveland. Go for Nick Richards, who would be nice. You got like Eubanks. You got Dwight Powell. So there's a lot of good options here. I do love the idea of Nick Richards being my backup center. I think that's another big man we could desperately use. But we definitely need, like I said, guys everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and offer Nick Richards a 3-year, $10 million deal to be our backup center going forward. Even 4 years, I'd be fine with that. Let's just make sure we lock him up. That way he could be a really good backup center for us going forward. And then I am going to go ahead and, like I said, re-sign Caris LeVert as well, because I think that's going to be important to keep him. So they're both going to be making around $11 million. So if I can get those 2 done right away, I think that's going to be a great start. So we got Caleb Martin already, and then we got Nick Richards and LeVert, and that's going to be a really good start. And obviously we have no money left to spend in free agency. We use our full mid-level already. So LeVert, Osman Okoro, like I mentioned, one thing we could try to upgrade is this small forward spot if we wanted to. It depends on what Cleveland wants to do. Do they want to be patient with Isaac Okoro, or do they just want to move on from him? He shot 36% from 3, so I don't know. We could really be patient with the man if we wanted to. We have Caleb Martin as a backup power forward. I don't know if he'd actually go up as small forward if I move him there. If not, I'll just leave him at power forward. He stays the same regardless, but he actually kind of moves up a little bit. So I might move him to that small forward spot. I don't know if I'll have him start, but he'll be a nice backup. I think I'm going to be using Osman Sauer to make a trade here. So I'll probably roll with the Okoro, at least for now, because he does develop. So I think we can roll with him. Levert will be that backup shooting guard. So all we really need to find now is a backup power forward or a backup point guard. So whichever one we can get is what we need to go with to start off this rebuild. So this is the trade I'm going to do. I'm going to be sending Osman and Dean Wade over to the Suns for Landry Shamet and a second-round pick. I'm kind of thinking long-term ball game here. Landry Shamet's a good shooter, and he has 2 team options, so we could use that salary in a trade later on because he'll be an expiring contract for the next 2 years if need be. And he shot 37% from 3. I didn't really need a backup shooting guard, but he can maybe play some backup point guard, and we're getting an extra second-round pick out of it as well on top of it. So I think this is a trade we're going to make. So this might not make us good right away, but I'm just kind of thinking the long-term game at this point. So we're going to be rolling into the next season with a rotation like this. We're going to be a playoff team regardless because Mitchell and Garland are absolutely amazing in the simulation. It's just a matter of making those moves when we need to. Levert could technically play backup point guard, and Landry Shamet actually goes up, which is kind of handy. So Landry Shamet will be that backup point guard. Lamar will be the backup 3. Lamar Stevens is going to be the backup 4. And Nick Richards is going to be our backup 5. So player progression. Let's see how this is going to treat us. And we're going to have Garland up to a 91, which is awesome. Mobley up to an 89. Allen and Okoro is up too. So we can bank on Okoro, just keep developing, or we can eventually use his young upside to trade him with Landry Shamet's salary. Something like that. So there's definitely going to be potential to make a move later on if we need to. It's definitely going to be there. So I'm not too concerned about rushing it. So let's go straight into this next season with this updated draft class or loaded in draft class. And let's look at this rotation. Honestly, I think the upgrades that we needed to make were good and they were necessary to make those. So we got Garland, Mitchell, Okoro, Mobley, Allen, Nick Richards, Levert, Caleb Martin, and Landry Shamet. Now, I'm not ruling out the idea of stopping at the deadline potentially to make another move. If we be a 4-star, we can at perimeter centric or 7 seconds. So what do we want to do? Perimeter centric. I'm going to go 7 seconds because Okoro is a little bit of a better fit there. So I'm going to go with that. I want to give Okoro all the opportunity in the world to be really good at that starting small forward spot. But hey, if we can get better there and we can use this hour to do so, I think we got to try it. So I'm going to roll with that. Let's go ahead and summate this season. Let's see how we do. Obviously, I expect nothing but a good season because Cleveland is like that in 2K. Shot tendencies. Garland always ends up being a beast. I don't even really need to mess with that, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to boost Okoro shot tendency up just maybe a little bit because definitely want him, like I said, to take some shots. And Levert will leave, and I'll leave all that the same. So I will go ahead and summate this season. We shall see how we do. And hopefully we're still a playoff team, which I assume we would be. LeBron James, even at his old age, wins MVP for the Lakers. Victor Wembanyama is your rookie of the year. Tyus Jones is your 6th man. Defensive player goes to Miles Turner. Most improved goes to Darius Garland with 24 and 12. So we all know how he does in 2K. Just absolutely turns into a stud. And I assume Bickerstaff gets that coach of the year, and he does. 64 and 18. At one point, I thought we were on a 70-win pace. We were like 40 and 7 or something crazy like that. I'm like, man, are we really about to pull off a 70-win season? Only 6 games away from doing so. But looks like everything we brought in was absolutely perfect. Now, will this result in a championship? Obviously, we got to see that. But Ja, Luka, LeBron, Tatum, Jokic, all NBA second team, Garland making it is awesome to see. No Mitchell, though, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I assume maybe we get a Cavalier representative. We do not on any of the all-defensive teams. But we are the 1st seed in the Eastern Conference. If we go take a look at that player stats, we had 24 from Garland and then 27 from Mitchell. So our backcourt just absolutely killing it. Mobley with 16 and 12, Jarrett Allen 14 and 10, Levert with 12 and a half, Okoro with 10 and a half, which is exciting to see. And he shot 36% from 3. So can't complain too much about that. That's around average, and I would take that each and every day. Richards with 9 and 7 and a block and a half off the bench, which is amazing. Martin with 7 and then 6 from Landry Shamet. Not too shabby. So will this result, like I mentioned, in a championship? That remains to be seen. We get Washington in round 1. They got DeLon Wright, Bradley Beal, Kuzma, Deni Avdija. They lucked into Victor Wembanyama. So this is going to be a tough task, but I feel like we have the big man to throw at Wembanyama. We'll see how this goes. Let's simulate current round. It would very much suck to be 8th seeded here, and we do beat them in 5, thankfully. So now we get Detroit. Detroit upset Boston. So we definitely got our hands full here. They got Kate Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Bojan, got Miles Bridges, Jalen Duren, James Wiseman, Marvin Bagley, Kelly Oubre, Isaiah Stewart, and Cameron Whitmore. I'm going to go game by game on this one. I'm going to give Detroit some respect. 149 and 133, 25 and 20 from Garland. 20 assists is insane. 14 on the averaging in the playoffs so far. We're up 2-0. 137 and 112, 33 and 7. Okoro with 28. It's exactly what we would love to see out of Isaac Okoro if we could just let this man develop. Hopefully Cleveland can get this guy to be that good in real life. That would go a long way. But let's go ahead and see if we can go up 3-0. We do beat them by 1. We're up 3-0 and 1 game away from the Eastern Conference Finals, as long as we don't blow a 3-0 lead and we absolutely sweep the Detroit Pistons. But now we're going to be running into Toronto or Atlanta. So obviously we know how Atlanta can be. So we got a first seed versus second seed matchup. Atlanta's got DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, Hunter, Collins and Kongwu, Capella, Sadiq Bey, Taylor Horn-Tucker, AJ Griffin, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. So gonna be a tough series, and they got LA and New Orleans on the other side. So Anthony Davis gets to play his former team as the Lakers picked up Fred VanVleet. So very exciting stuff. Let's see if we can take down Atlanta. Game 1, we go up 1-0, 23 and 6, 20 and 20. Man, Garland is just absolutely just thrashing it out there right now. Game 2, they even it up 112 to 85, 37 and 9 from Trae Young. Game 3, 2-1 lead for them. Game 4, 3-1 lead in Atlanta. Unfortunately, is just overpowered, and that's how it is. So LA and New Orleans, let's go ahead and see who advances, as New Orleans gets the best of the Lakers. You're gonna have the Hawks go on to beat the Pelicans in 7 games. So we went from the first seed to the East Conference Finals to losing to Atlanta in 5 games. So how do we react to that? Well, that's a good question. I really like what we brought together. I think Okoro showed us promise, so I don't know if I want to give up on him. Although in the playoffs, he averaged 29% from 3. So, that's tough. That's tough. So there is a chance I come back with a better small forward, and I might have to, trade Okoro if we want a chance at winning. We really can't have that happen. I thought for sure he was really starting to hit a stride, but shooting 29% from 3 just can't be done in the playoffs. We need him to make shots. So that's going to be a big topic of conversation this offseason if we can get a better small forward here for his services. So I am going to be searching the league for maybe a better small forward, but I can't make that trade until after the draft. Unfortunately, 2K does not let you accept options before the draft, which is really annoying because you can do that in real life. And I didn't realize Okoro did not have another year left on his option, or on his rookie contract. So that's actually becomes very, very interesting. I don't know what we're going to do with that, but we shall see. Let's go straight to the draft, though, because we do have a couple picks here. I don't know if we'll be keeping either of these guys that we draft. We do have Dylan Mitchell on the board. We got Skylar Clark, Amari Bailey, MJ Rice. So which one do we want? I'm going to take Amari Bailey here with this selection, and then let's just go to the second round. Both these guys are probably going to be using a trade anyway. So I'm going to be using Skylar Clark's, and that's going to be awesome. So we're going to sign both those guys. Both these guys are going to be using trades this offseason. I'm going to accept Landry Shamit's team option because I want to be able to use that salary. Then Caleb Martin coming back. I like his services off the bench still. Okoro is a free agent, and I know he asked for a ton of money, so that becomes very, very interesting. Okoro, okay, 16 million actually isn't too bad. I've seen him ask for way more than that in the past, I feel like. But we do have a full mid-level again. Once again, I feel like I get Isaiah Joe all the time, so I'm not going to do that this time. I don't know why OKC always just waives him, but they do every time. So what do we need the most this offseason? I guess if we're going to be trading Shamit and then maybe Levert's contract as well. So I guess there's a path where we could make a trade and still be pretty good if we brought back a core on top of that. So a guy I was kind of looking at, we need someone who can knock down some shots. Like, we definitely need that, and somebody who's good. You could reunite Markkanen here in Cleveland. That'd be kind of funny, but we're not going to go that route. I know one Cavaliers rebuild I did. I brought Porzingis in and played him at small forward. Michael Porter's kind of interesting. We got to go for someone who may not cost us a ton. And somebody I was kind of looking at, and that was Keldon Johnson in San Antonio. I feel like Keldon Johnson is someone who could potentially become available and would kind of slot in right at a small forward spot perfectly, making around $19 million. And he shot 37% from 3. So pretty much around what Okoro was giving us, but I feel like Keldon Johnson has higher upside. So I'm going to try to get Keldon Johnson if I can pull this off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm going to give it my best shot. So I'm going to have to throw Landry Shamit's salary in here, and I'm going to throw Amari Bailey and then Skylar Clark, and then as many picks as I can. I guess I don't have like a ton of picks I can trade. Can I trade my 2026? I cannot. So I'm going to have to throw like every second rounder. If I had a Okoro right now, that'd be so awesome. I'd come in clutch. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to use Okoro in that potential idea. So maybe we have to wait till the deadline to revisit this, but that is something I will be looking at, is trying to get like a Keldon Johnson. So I think we mainly have to resign Okoro and then sign someone else in free agency. I think that's where we're at. So I'm going to sign a guard because LeVert and Landry Shamet are going to become expendable at the deadline. And I should probably sign a power forward if I can, but I might not be able to. So I can get Alvarado for a minimum. So that's actually going to come in clutch. So I'm going to sign him. And then I'm going to use my other money on a guard. So like Alexander Walker, who turned up in the playoffs for Minnesota, could be nice. Bogdan, Josh Richardson. Either one of these guys would be really clutch. I'm going to go ahead and grab Bogdan, though. 2 years, $5 million is going to be very, very cheap for him. We'll bring him in, and then I'm going to re-sign Okoro to that contract he's asking. And then maybe, just maybe, we don't even need to trade Okoro, and we could just kind of roll with him as our small forward if he develops nicely. So, going to give him the money, and then should we have enough to sign anything else? We got like Lamar Stevens I can get him a minimum to, but that's about to be it. So, I'm going to need Okoro services in a trade if I'm going to make a big trade. So, we'll give him a chance until the deadline. If he's playing great, I'll just keep going with it. He's up to an 81. His three-point shot's up to an A-. So if the man is just playing out of his mind and there's no reason to trade him, I guess I'll just roll with him. But if we can trade him and get something better, like a Keldon Johnson that I was looking at, or if there's another small forward, I can't pass it up. So we'll see how things are going. I'll see you guys at the deadline or at the end of next season because there was no reason to make a trade. So I am starting the trade deadline at 45 and 12. We're so good right now, and there may not even be it may not even be necessary for me to make a trade right now, but I'm still gonna do it anyway just because I want to make this video somewhat interesting and not just be like a simulation where I did nothing. Okoro is averaging 11 points on 39% shooting from 3, so obviously I really can't complain about that on 6 attempts. So like literally we could just continue to roll with him, but I am gonna try to revisit that idea of, like I mentioned earlier, trading for Keldon Johnson on the Spurs. He's going to be a little bit of an overall upgrade, of course, and I think he'd be available, and we could get to his money. Maybe we could do it without trading, obviously Okoro. He was only shooting 36%, so maybe I could try to do this without Okoro. We'll see. I didn't mean to click edit player. That was totally an accident, but let's go ahead and try to trade for him. So maybe I could pull this off without doing that. So let's go to the Spurs, and let's see if Keldon Johnson is someone they might be looking to move on from. So if I threw Landry Shamet's out in here, need $5 more million in here, and that could be what I mentioned earlier, Amari Bailey. And then let's say it's, does Bogdan have good trade value for them? Obviously, they're not like crazy going to be interested in him, but like, do they have anyone they could give me? Devontae Graham is going to make way too much money for us to take back. A Kogi, they like no minimum. So I'm going to have to match the salary perfectly. Wesley, I guess, is someone I could take back from them. I think I have one pick I could throw in here. So 2029 unprotected. If it's Shamet, Amari Bailey, Bogdan, and a 2029 unprotected for Keldon Johnson, I don't know what they say to that. They don't agree. I'll throw in my second and then another second, and they don't agree, which is fair. I definitely can understand that. Let's try to do this with what else could I throw in here? Could I throw in Clark? He's got 1.5 trade value. I feel like Okoro would have to be in this trade, and I just don't know if I want to do it. Okoro would make the money almost work perfectly. So if I tried Okoro and let's say it's, I guess it'd be Landry Shamet, right? Or that's a little too much money for them. So maybe have to be like Caleb Martin. So Okoro, Caleb Martin for Keldon Johnson. Do I do it or do I roll with Okoro? They agree. I did it. All right, I did it. I think Okoro was doing a great job, but Keldon Johnson is going to be an overall upgrade that I think is going to be very, very helpful, and it rounds up rotation a little bit better. Garland, Mitchell, Keldon Johnson, Mobley, Allen, Nick Richards, Bogdan, LeVert, Jose Alvarado. And then what I can do here also is I can throw either Bogdan or LeVert at that small forward. Either one's going to go up. I'll throw Bogdan there, and that is what we're doing. So I don't know. Should I have done that? I wanted to do it to make the video somewhat interesting. That way we just didn't keep rolling with the same thing. I think this is going to make us very well-rounded. Hopefully, I don't end up regretting that. Okoro's a Spur now, and we walked with Keldon Johnson. We'll see how the rest of the season treats us. So this season, Evan Mobley actually got Defensive Player of the Year, which is really exciting to see, to be honest with you. So that's a good sign going forward. Here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second. Did we get a Cavs representative? I didn't see if we did. I guess Mobley made it All-NBA second team. That's great to see. I think that's it. He's going to make an All-Defensive first team as well, of course. We got the second seed in the East, so Atlanta's still our foe, I guess you should say. We grabbed Keldon Johnson at the deadline as he was averaging 13 points per game, 16 from Jarrett Allen, 19 from Mobley, 23 and 27. So Donovan Mitchell, Summer, we're going to have to resign this offseason, but I'm hoping we just win a championship right here and not even worry about that. So let's see how these playoffs are going to go for us. We draw Miami in round 1, and obviously playing, Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, is not fun. So to say I'm nervous is an understatement, but I feel like we should beat them. Somebody I said we should. Okay, we beat them in 6. I was about to say, made me sweat a little bit. I know you guys can't see it, but they actually went up like 2-1 on us for a second. But now we get to play Orlando. They have Markelle Fultz, Suggs, Franz Wagner, Boncaro, Wendell Carter, Russell, OG Anunoby, Drummond, and Josh Hart. So a very, very good team in Orlando. But we're up 1-0 to start things off. 44 from Mitchell. And we get playoff Mitchell. That'd be fantastic. And so far, so good. 3-0, 3-1. Can we beat them in 5? We're back in the conference finals. And one guy we'll be waiting for, of course, is Atlanta. So Atlanta is back in the conference finals once again. We came back with Keldon Johnson this time. I don't know if that's going to mean anything. We shall see how this is going to go. Game 1, 1-0 lead, 113-98, 24-7, 19-10. Game 2, 2-0 lead so far. So we go up 2-0 on the Hawks. That's a great sign. Now, can we put them away with a Game 3 victory? No. We're going to let them back in it here. Yes, we are. Game 5 is coming, and we got to win it. So this is going to be a big Game 5. Let's go to Simcast for this one. This is going to be in Atlanta. So if we can win this one, take them back to Cleveland and close them out, that would go a long way. But of course, Atlanta gets off to a hot start. We're kind of in it, though. We literally are so close to closing the gap, and we lose by 3 points. So we have to force a Game 6 if we want any chance, or a Game 7, I should say. We got to win Game 6 to force a Game 7. Here we go. I'm going down to an 8-man rotation to see if that changes anything for us. Play our 8 best players, and forcing a Game 7 is going to be crucial here. Can we do it, though, is the question. Close game, back and forth. Atlanta is going to take this one, though, and run with it. I hate how overpowered Atlanta is. Like, it's really annoying, to be honest with you. Like, I get they just pushed Bosch into 6, but, like, they aren't that good, right? Let's just be honest. But whatever, somebody come around, and Hawks going to win championship again. Trae Young, it's just crazy, man. It really is. But it is what it is. Not much I can do about it. So for me, the only thing I can really do is run it back. So we made our move by getting Keldon Johnson. So we just have to hope and, pray that it's eventually going to work out for us. I guess we could get a different head coach if we think that's going to fix anything. But I feel like Bickerstaff has done a great job under the system we have him in. So I'll just leave that the way it is. I'll grab a big man coach because we do have a lot of big men. So maybe that could play a big role. I don't know. So let's just go straight to rookie signing because I don't even think we have a draft pick. If we do, my mistake, but I'm pretty sure we don't. So rookie signing, we had nothing. Player options, Landry Shaman going to accept. Donovan Mitchell declines. That's going to be a big must resign. Alvarado and Mobley are both restricted free agents, so I will definitely take both of them back. So let's make sure we get Donovan Mitchell back locked up. If we lose him, that's going to be a disaster. Let's make sure we're his #1 offer, and we are. So we're going to get Donovan Mitchell back. That's crucial. And then I want Mobley, and of course I'm going to match Mobley, no doubt. So Mobley, Donovan Mitchell are back, and then Lamar Stevens. Is there anything else I can do in this free agency to make things interesting? I can bring back Caleb Barton, who was nice for us, but what else can I do? So right now I have Landry Shamet as a backup point guard. Got Karis LeVert, Bogdan, Mobley, Allen, and Richard. So I think I could probably sign at least somebody because these guys might go down in overall. The shooting guard or small forward, DiVincenzo, sounds like a really good role player to bring in. And then Alvarado, will wait for him to come back. And that will be our free agency. So just basically going to be running it back unless we can sign anyone else, which doesn't look like it. So it's going to wait for Alvarado, and that should be all she wrote. So let's sign them, and we're running it back another year and hoping that we can take down Cleveland, or taking down Atlanta, because we are Cleveland, I should say. So no one actually went down overall, which is to my surprise. Shaman actually went up. And then let's see, let's see how Okoro developed. If he's up to like an 85, I'm gonna kind of hate myself. He is up to an 82, so I guess he's still worse than Keldon Johnson. So maybe I still feel good about that trade. If we do stop the deadline to make like an even bigger move, we definitely can. I'll show you if we do, but I'm hoping we can just run it back with this team, and eventually we'll take down Atlanta. Eventually we will. So Evan Mobley comes out this year, goes from Defensive Player of the Year, and wins MVP. This is the kind of potential I think a lot of people see in Evan Mobley, and he is unlocking it here in 2K. 22 and 14, absolutely what you love to see. And we actually also gonna show you, we broke the record for most wins in a season. 74 and 8 on the season with JB Bickerstaff. So, like I said, Cleveland just always clicks in this game, so I'm not really too surprised by the production we got. Mobley makes an all-defensive first team and all-NBA first team. Do we get a guard on? Yeah, we get Garland once again, which is amazing. So, love to see it. Now, can we win a championship this year, though, is the question. So, Once again, 24 from Mitchell, 22 from Garland, and 13, 22 and 14, and then 2 blocks from Mobley, and then Jarrett Allen with 15, 9, and 1 block, 13 from Keldon Johnson, 11 from Bogdan, 8 from Richards, 8 from DiVincenzo, and then 4 from Jose Alvarado. So here we go. We get Indiana round 1. They got Miles Turner, Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Ian Jackson, and Gregory Jackson. Somebody current round against Indiana. Please don't get 8th seeded. That'd be great. Okay, boom. We take them down. Atlanta's still alive. I would hate to see them again. But now we get Toronto. We have Thompson. He developed into an 85. So maybe it is my problem that I never let Amen Thompson develop. Because every time I draft him, I don't give him enough time. So that's my fault. So next time, I need to just roll with him, man. He's up to an 85. So I've finally seen it from my own eyes that he can turn into someone good. Toronto's roster, though, is really good. Especially with Jaylen Brown on the team. They got Barnes, Siakam, and Kongwu. I'm a little nervous about this one, not gonna lie. 146 to 97, great start. We absolutely blew them out. 2-0, 3-0. Yep, and we're gonna beat them in 4. Yes, we are, and we get Detroit instead of Atlanta. But Detroit, I believe, didn't they have Wemby? No, that was Washington. So Detroit has Cunningham, Ivy, Cameron Whitmore. They got Sabonis. Okay, that's a big addition. But I feel like this is our ticket right here, right now. Can we do it? Game 1 goes to Detroit. Game 2, we even it up. And game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. Can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. We've only lost 2 games in these playoffs so far, and now we get to play Utah, Donovan Mitchell's former team, ironically enough. Booker in Utah. I'm assuming they have Walker Kessler and Booker, and then I don't know what else they have. Maybe they sound like a Kyrie Irving as well. No, they got Scoot Henderson in the draft. Wow, they have lucked out in the lottery. So we got Scoot, Abaji, Isaac, Booker, Kessler, Sexton, Brogdon, Gary Trent. A very, very talented team in Utah. Very, very talented. But we have the MVP on our side in Evan Mobley. He has unlocked his full potential. Can we beat the Jazz? 1-0 lead. Even it up from them. 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. Can we do it? Cleveland! This is for you! We win a championship. Evan Mobley turns into a stud in this final season. We broke the NBA record, and that is exactly how we wanted that video to end. So thank you guys for watching this one. This one turned out very good. Cleveland already has a really good foundation. They were very, very disappointing in the playoffs, but if they can add a few role players, get some toughness, get some more shooting, maybe you look for an upgrade that small forward spot if they don't believe in Okoro, should be a very interesting offseason for Cleveland. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, I'll see you on the next one. We're going to do all 30 teams, so if I've not done your team yet, don't worry, I'll get to them. But this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.